paste it. And...
Hey friends! Welcome to the Rosé Hour! Hopefully you guys can hear us. There's no problems with hearing us today. Hey, Think Pink Tank, my friendly friends to the north, our Canadian friends. Oh wow, hey. Michelle is here.
So we're so excited. So excited.
Hi.
Hello. Yes, red lip.
I gave you a red lip. I did.
Yes.
This is for you.
I love it. Oh, I love it.
Unfortunately, I had to turn off my air conditioner, so it's a little. I'm gonna have to dab.
Oh my God. Well, dab right.
Well, let me MacGyver my phone into a little setup, so I don't have to hold on.
Please do. And we're actually gonna throw some photos of you up behind us so people can be like, yeah.
Let's see.
It's Michelle.
Ooh, I think that's better.
Coming into the room. Michelle, how are you?
Hello. I've heard a lot about you. How are you
That's
doing?
amazing. I was about to introduce myself. I didn't know if it was proper.
Well, why don't
Please.
we get the introductions down?
Well, hello. My name is Ben, bartender Ben. Right?
Yeah, he's a Leo. His favorite colors are no.
Right. Favorite
Long
color's
walks on the
red,
beach.
Right, all of that.
Long walks. I do take long walks. I kidnap my mom's dog, and I take him on these I Am Legend walks. He walks for like 10, 12 miles. He'll pass out. I'll throw some water on him. He'll get up, and we'll walk some more miles, and then I'll pass out, and he'll lick me in the face or something, and then we'll get up, and it's a whole thing.
He's
I Am
in the
Legend
dog.
walks is perfect. When this first happened around March, and I live in Hell's Kitchen near Times Square, and walking around it, I felt a little, dare I say, Will Smith, a little less cool, I'd say, but definitely felt like I had Times Square to myself, which is pretty unique, I'll say.
Right.
It's got to be scary, right? Like Times Square, it's like millions of people every day, and then it's like you and 3 people and some random dog. Like
That's it.
Right.
And there's still the naked cowboy.
He's still there.
Part. Okay, he is there.
What about Elmo? Because I feel like Elmo should be the dirty Elmo.
The dirty
Yeah.
Elmo? Okay, funny you say that. I didn't see him, but a couple years ago, I have this amazing picture. Elmo without his helmet, revealing himself, getting arrested for whatever reason, and like screaming, crying, and I was the person to capture it. But it was, kids were crying. It was a scene in Times Square.
Oh, wow. That's so sad.
Yeah.
But hilarious
Elmo.
at the same time.
Elmo got arrested, just to let you know.
I'm here for it. They got Elmo. Well, we are so glad that you could join us today.
Me too.
Yes. So for those of who may not know you, everyone in the world should know you because you're so amazing. Can you tell everybody, Michelle, about you and who you work for and what you do?
Sure. My name is Michelle Wallach. I'm based in New York City. I work in the wine world, and I work directly for a winery in Saint-Tropez called Chateau Minuty that only produce rosé wine for the world. So I am their North American brand director. So pre-COVID, ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
Pre-COVID.
Get a little chime.
I'm getting a little flushed. Pre-COVID, I was traveling around to different markets in North America, mainly in the United States, but certainly in Canada a bit. And now readjusting and pivoting post or during COVID, but certainly connecting with educators and our customers all over the country, which there's quite a lot. So we're grateful for that.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. And so Minuty only has rosé. Like, as you see, we have one of the biggest bottles of rosé ever.
So big.
I wanted to send you the 6 liter, but then I just thought like you guys won't be able to continue your show, so I was showing restraint.
Oh my God! Well,
Challenge
thank
accepted.
you.
We'll do that next time. Please send that. We'll do it.
We'll take the challenge.
Yeah,
The Pepsi challenge, the Rosé
Right.
challenge.
The
Next
Rosé
time.
challenge.
The
We're
Minuty
building a
challenge.
relationship,
Right.
Ben and Renee. We're building next time. You know, I can't
Yes.
go in guns blazing. You'll never want to talk to me again. You'll be like, okay.
Got
I
it from
should've
her, right?
I should have started with a half bottle, the 375, and then we could just build until, you know, the
Yes.
pinnacle of our relationship, which would be the 6 liter. So next
Yeah,
time.
I feel like that's 10 years down the line because we're going to be friends forever. So, you know,
Yeah.
you guys are best friends. We're here for you. We're here for all of the things that you do.
Yes.
So, Minuti has how many types of rosé?
Sure. So they have in the United States, they sell M, which they're, you know, most famous for in the US. I think there's a bottle next to the Prestige.
Ooh.
And then new this year, this is what we're drinking now. I know you should never show the bottle when you're on camera because it goes backwards, but just to get the feel. And then, so that's Prestige. It's the biggest selling wine within France, and we brought it to the US this year. And then they have 2 other wines that are their upper cuvées. So they're 100% made on the estate, and that's Rosé Or and 281. And then there's a specialty item that is the same bottle as M, just in an artist series label that we do for, you know, certain markets across the country and across the world. So technically, we have 5 wines in the U.S.
You get another time.
with various sizes.
Yes, we love
large,
it.
small, medium.
Well, I like
depending
to
on-
look at it as large, extra large, double XL. You know, I love it. Super
I like it.
size. I love it. So I know you have some questions too, but like before we get into it, do you want to talk about this coat before we start tasting? I know people
Yeah.
are excited about it.
Sure.
We are definitely excited. We just poured it, so we have it in our cups ready to taste along with you.
Yeah.
Great. I think I
Basically,
went way past you and I just started enjoying it for a few minutes before I joined. So I'll slow down and we can
We're
equal
gonna
over
just
it.
catch up. How about that?
Okay. All right. I'm on board with that.
We can
Yeah, I'd love to tell you a little bit about the wine. So Prestige, you know, I mentioned, you know, Minuty is the #1 selling rosé in the world. It's a big position globally. They sell in 100 countries. And the family is really from Saint-Tropez. And I think a lot of rosé companies, you know, have an image of Saint-Tropez, but really Minuty has their physical location is a half of a mile basically away from the Port of Saint-Tropez. So super chic, super fancy, but for them, it's their home, a home that I would love to visit once a month, but I didn't work that in my contract, so.
Next time, you can always re-up.
I'll re-up in that way. So really, Minuty, they've been making rosé wine. I mean, you know, for people within France, I mean, rosé wine has always been at the dinner table, at barbecues. And then in the last, I'd say 15 years, you know, in the US, you've just seen this unbelievable incline. And for them, it's always been about quality, making the best of the best before they were able to go out into the world, into different countries. And really the leader for them has always been this wine, Prestige. So Prestige is a blend of Grenache. About 60 to 70% of the Grenache is actually coming from the estate. So it's not completely estate fruit just because of the volume of this wine, but really a majority is coming from the property. And the Grenache is coming from the property that's closest to the port of Saint-Tropez, to the Gulf of Saint-Tropez. So you're getting the maritime influence. And then it has some Cinsault and it has some Tiburon. So it's a beautiful blend. And there's also a minerality to it. So I'd say, you know, this wine is so linear. You can drink it with oysters, you know, you can drink it on its own, and it can take you through dinner. But it's a special wine. And I love the package. You know, everything is about the way it looks in terms of wine. Let's face it, you don't go out trying to make the ugliest bottle of wine in terms of appearance, but really the quality is the first and foremost. But there's some designers in the family that have worked on different perfume campaigns. So you're going to see a lot of likeness to perfume bottles. And to me, this is definitely reminiscent of something like a Chanel No. 5. Really clean, really pretty, and just the wine does speak for itself.
Yeah, it definitely gives me Chanel feel. Like I
Chanel
feel all
vibes.
about Coco should be walking in right now.
Yeah.
I love it.
She's
It's
here.
beautiful. And to your point, you could tell like perfume or beauty, industry is also incorporated because of how slender and sleek the lines within the bottle as well. Like it's so like everything is, I won't say exaggerated, but it's definitely like purposeful.
Right. It's clean. You want it's fresh, it's modern. And I'm always surprised when I go into a wine shop or, I would go to a restaurant and see a bottle being presented and knowing that the quality of that wine is exceptional, but just looking at the packaging and just it's people go to restaurants, they have the bottle prominently featured. People notice, they want to see. That's why large formats with Rosé is so fun, because people see a 3-liter coming through the crowd and they go, what is that? What is going on in that bottle?
Yeah, like, wait a minute, that's not vodka. What's going on?
And the waiter is struggling to pour it over, it's always fun.
They're like trying to do it like this.
And in France, I love it. In France, they put the bottle, obviously I'm going to just use a 750, but they take, the 6 liters and the 3 liters, and they're so strong, the men and women that pour the wine, and they just do it in such a way that no drips happen outside the glass, which is a craft in itself. So
oh my God, yes. Opening a bottle is very difficult sometimes for me. So like, yes.
I've tried and have failed, so it's not my forte. I leave it to the staff to help. Not for me.
Right. It looks like you have a question too.
I was just wondering, how did you get linked up with Minuty to get this role? Like, your position seems amazing. It's an amazing brand.
You came, how did I come to get together with Minuty?
Yeah.
Is that what you said? Okay.
Yeah.
I sold their wine in New York through a different importer and got to know the family, got to know Francois Mitton. He's the owner, one of the co-owners. Him and his brother operate Minuty out of Saint-Tropez. And really, out of the gate, just respected him as somebody that had such a strong business, globally. And in the U.S., they had already been entered for a few years and were very successful, but he was methodical. And we just really connected and had, a shared vision of how a brand, a winery like Minuty can enter the space, which is so competitive. Look at Rosés. Name a celebrity and I will be hard pressed to not tell you who's attached to the Rosé, right? So in terms of being competitive, he really wanted to build his business step by step in the correct way, work with the best restaurateurs, work with the best independent retailers, and also national retailers. It wasn't just about let's dump a million cases everywhere. It was, is this the right account? Is this the right restaurant to sell our upper cuvee, or does it make more sense? And just, you don't meet that many type of wine professionals in the industry. They just want immediate success. So we just really clicked and then developed this role, which is pretty cool. So I'm grateful for it, for sure. And I'm grateful to work for a family-owned company, which makes me quite pleased.
Yeah, it just sounds amazing.
Right,
Like,
I was going to hit the time.
You just do like a whole bunch of just cool stuff. Like, you just do a whole bunch of cool wine stuff. You just fancy, go around the world, do cool wine stuff. I know I keep saying that, but I don't know how to describe it.
Listen, I'm thinking like pre-pandemic and now and I'm still feel like there's a lot of cool things to do with the brand, but definitely before it was, spending time in places where, growing up, I went to Atlantic City, maybe once a year, and to work with Minuty and then really go to the best places in the world and go spend a little time in Nantucket or Miami and LA and Vegas, being a representative of the brand. It didn't suck, it doesn't suck, Ben, for sure. No way else to put it. It's a wonderful job.
I was going to ask you too, like, what has been like some of the best, like, memorable moments you've had in the industry? And like, I know you get to travel a lot, you get to meet a lot of people. So like, what are some of your most memorable moments?
Easy. last year, I'm like, boom. Last year, Minuty is a sponsor with the Rolex Tennis Masters that happen in Monaco. So every year, it's not Wimbledon, but it's a real prominent competition. So you have Nadal, you have the best of the best playing in this tournament, almost as a tune-up for something like Wimbledon. And we hosted some distributor personnel last year, and we landed in Nice airport, and they picked us up in a helicopter. We went to Monaco, we stayed, watched these tennis matches. Nadal was right here in front of me, able to play. It's only Minuty, so every day they sell something like 1,000 bottles during this 10-day tournament. There's no like sponsorship names. It's just very sleek, and there's some laws that prohibit you from doing that. But it's amazing to see everybody drinking rosé. And then we were able to take a helicopter back to Saint-Tropez, to the winery, and just land right on the winery. And I got out, and it's like in my mind, it was slow-mo, and I was definitely like participating in some rap video. And I just like whipped the hair. And then also, to be real, like some dust kicked up, and then like I was like stuttering, and just that moment fell apart. But for 20 seconds, I thought I was who I was.
You were in like a 1990s Jay-Z, Big Pimpin' video.
Right.
Are you in my brain?
The imagery you gave, I was like, that's the video I would be in, right? Like just
I was trying
hair blowing. Yeah. And like to just land in the vineyard. Like, how cool is that?
Yeah. And the owner's children were, the owner, his family lives actually above the tasting room. So it's there's another house on the property. There's actually a little chapel. I mean, it's an amazing estate. It's the most visited estate in Provence during the season, and actually all year. And his children were bouncing up and down, just so happy. And like, they don't see his dad coming on a helicopter every day, but it was just such a sweet moment of just pure sweetness from these children. And then, I'm like whipping the hair around, trying to be cool. Not cool.
You're getting your Beyonce on, you just had a fan blowing, I feel it. I'm here for it. I support it. We all need to have a moment like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we did the most memorable. Mm-hmm. What is one moment you had like doing all of this that you're like, I should have sent somebody else?
Easy. This starts out fun and exciting. I was on my way to the Aspen Food and Wine. It's called the Aspen Classic, and it's one of, if not the biggest food and wine show. I had never been, but Minuty's participated in the years, and this was my first time going to the Classic, and I was really excited. I know what it is, and getting there, it was planes, trains, and automobiles. It should have taken me, obviously a couple hours to get there from New York. It took a day and a half. I had to sleep in an Idaho airport because they landed the plane, and they landed the plane butted up against a telephone pole, and so they couldn't get the luggage out. And so, I shared a pillow with a little 7-year-old boy kindly who shared his like half pillow. I don't think it was an agreement. I think I just slept on near him. But
you're like, this is collateral space.
Yeah, I'm like, listen, and wound up having to go back to Denver and going here and driving the car and going to Aspen, getting my luggage in the Aspen airport. And it was just, I showed up in my hair, and I was in the same dress for basically 2 days. And my boss was like, oh my gosh, you poor thing, and then he's like, but hurry up and get dressed because we have a dinner to go to. I was like, okay. Got dressed, and just, you figure it out, you shake it off. But traveling those hours and hours and hours, I think, you break when you're having a bad travel experience, and it's okay. So don't worry, it's all equilibrium and all shook out, and
you had some rosé to settle it all down.
Yeah. I was for sure.
So what's your favorite? I'm sorry, I know I'm like domino questions because it was just like in our interview. So we interviewed Michelle, and like the episode hasn't released yet, and like this is how it was like talking to your best friend. Like you're like, I didn't know we were best friends. I forgot, like, we met in college, and that's what it feels like.
I had the best time with you. It was such a nice. It took me like 2 days to come from the bubble. I really enjoy talking to you.
You too. Like, you're so awesome. Okay, so this is the real question. I know everybody wants to know. Dun, dun, dun. What is your favorite Minuty Rosé and why?
Ooh, well, I want to be. It changes every day, and I remember telling you on the podcast that,
that's why I asked.
I wouldn't work. I can't in my career. I could never, and I have sold things that are part of the portfolio. They're like, but making this decision to leap and come to Minuty and exclusively sell a portfolio of rosé, it's a conscious decision, and I am in love with the wine. So I always feel like it's just pick a day and I'll tell you what I'm feeling. And this week I was on a prestige kick, so hence you got your prestige. But my passion for sure is the wine that's called Rosé Or, and that wine is 100% made on the estate. It's 80% Grenache, 20% Cinsault, and it's just the heartbeat of what they do at Minuty. And everything all the wines are hand harvested, and they're very quick to press. There's the timetable is like 20 minutes before they're doing press from pick. And the wine on the Rosé Or is just pure white peach. That Grenache is the dominant grape for them, for all of the line. And I just drink it and smell it, and I go, okay, it's got more of a body to it, and it's certainly a food wine, I'd say, but it just wows me every single time, and it's more of a showstopper. But for me, the prestige this summer has been my go-to. I've been on an oyster kick with some friends that are bringing them back from their travels, from their little road trips, and so the salinity on the wine and just prestige is it's a beautiful marriage. I like it.
Yes, I love it. And what are your thoughts on the prestige?
I love it because there's no weird aftertaste. There's no bite. It's really smooth. Mm-hmm. And what I really love about it is 12.5% alcohol.
Right.
I'm really big on that. So I don't know if you've seen that.
I'm so glad you mentioned that.
Content. Yes, it's amazing. Thank you. Whoever did that. That's amazing. We needed that.
I will not take credit, but Ben, that's really cool that you say that, because I don't think people talk about alcohol enough. I think that, for that is a big premise for the Matan family. For making the wine, they want a lower alcohol degree wine. They want 12.5 is always the target, pending vintage, of course. It could vary a degree or 2 or 3. But really, when I see Côte de Provence, 14% or, higher or lower, a little lower, it's all about freshness of vintage and that balance. And so, like Francois Matan likes to say, he says, we like people happy, not drunk. So you want people to drink, why Rosé? You have a podcast on Spotify and all platforms. And of course you have your page dedicated to rosé because there's such an audience for it. And why people love and drink rosé is because you can have a glass and you can have another glass and another glass. I can't do that with a lot of other types of wines. And that's the joy. And, listen, of course, I'm not exactly a slight woman. I can take down a beautiful bottle of Napa Cab, but the after effect, the lightness, I feel good, and I wake up the next day, having had
not
a few
groggy.
glasses. Right. That's the whole.
I love it.
Yeah, I like your green. Is that a dress, Renee, or is that a top?
Oh yes, it's a dress and it has pockets.
Oh, I like. Oh, it's all about the pockets.
Yeah,
great.
Thank you. And I was going to say the same for you. I love the dress. Is it a dress?
Thanks. It can be called a muumuu, I'm sure, here in the States. But for now, this is a Saint Tropez dress that I purchased. I always, I have a lot of, but it's kind of like a beach cover up. But I figured, you know what, if I'm not going to be in Saint Tropez this year,
might as well bring Saint Tropez to you.
Bring the energy. I'm going to bring it.
Yes, I love it. And
I'm glad you like it.
when COVID is over, I have to come to Saint-Tropez with you so I can get me a muumuu cover up / dress for me to remember Saint-Tropez.
Absolutely. And Ben, we got to get you some, Villeberquin shorts, basically like very expensive Saint-Tropez clothing.
I am with it.
It's not cheap.
Yeah,
but I
you're
feel
here
like
for it.
fashion. I feel like you guys are into fashion. I can see from at least the top up that you guys could be wearing underpants
from the waist up. We are Zoom appropriate.
Right.
Yeah.
I said that. We are Zoom appropriate.
Yeah, like my shoes right now, you're like, wait. They're definitely house shoes.
Before I almost put on perfume. I was like trying to get the show going here, and I'm like, why am I doing that? I'm drinking wine.
You know why? Because you want it to be fresh and so clean for you.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why. Because ain't nobody dope as you. You're just so fresh, so clean. I had to do it
Cheers
one time.
Cheers.
Cheers. So where can people purchase Minuty?
Oh, sure. So we have great partners, all over the country, and we certainly work really closely with wine.com, has all of our wines for sale. And then Sherry Lehman, who's a New York-based retailer, also ships to most states out of the country. And then certainly, if anybody's interested in purchasing, they can get in contact with me directly, request me on Instagram, reach out to you, and then you can pass my contact information. And based on what city you live in, I can give you a direct retailer partner that you can purchase Minuty from. That's easy enough. It's the easiest part of my job.
Yeah, and we also have penned, so if you guys are looking at the bottom half of the screen, we have penned how you can connect with Michelle here on Instagram and Minuty. So it's so simple. Just press the little name. That's what it is, a little name.
Yeah.
Keep it simple, right?
Right. Keeping it simple, because that's what we like to do.
Man, I am really in love with the prestige.
Oh, I'm glad you like it.
So thanks to Ms. Johnson here, I've really gotten into this rosé life.
You have no idea what it was before.
She completely converted me. Not that I was against rosé. I just wasn't really aware how awesome it was. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely representing rosé. Those who like rosé.
You're a rosé fan. Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am. And I would say, out of all the rosés I've tried, this one is so smooth.
Yeah.
It's so smooth. The difference between sparkling and this. It's like, okay, this is good, and it's sparkling side, but this is so smooth. I can drink it with anything.
Yeah. You got the finish. The finish is really long. It doesn't have a bite at the end. And, I know, Renee, you saw that I did a competitive tasting with a bunch of Côte de Provence producers that are really popular. And I just wanted to, for myself, I just did a little fun tasting with some customers that I'm close with. And we blinded ourselves on these wines. And, really, Minuty stood out of these producers. And it's because of the commitment to quality. And some of the other producers were definitely, pulling their weight for sure. But the gap between the others and this was just so significant for me. And, look, of course I work for the brand and I taste the wine a lot, but to have a room full of socially distanced people on my rooftop, it was like the Pepsi challenge. And they're like, did you rig this? And I was like, how did I rig it? You guys did the
It's your palate. It's your decision.
I did not do this. But it's again, there's a lot of clutter of brands, especially in the rosé space. And there's some great brands, and you're gonna get all these different price points. But when you're talking Côte de Provence, you're talking the Napa Valley of rosé area here, and so yeah, you're gonna pay 20, anywhere from 18 if you're lucky, really to about $22 for entry level, and then you're getting into mid 20s to late 20s, and then certainly with estate wines like the rosé, or then you're talking about like the $40 space plus, and then we have an upper cuvee called 281, so that's your special occasion wine. that's where you're spending around like $75 for a bottle of rosé. But life's too short to drink bad wine.
Yes.
And in this time of uncertainty and certainly being, cost conscious, for me, I'd rather drink more infrequently. That doesn't happen, by the way. But if I'm going to drink wine, I don't have a champagne budget perhaps right now. So for me, drinking rosé is an affordable luxury in Côte de Provence. Yeah. It's not out of the realm. So it feels good to be in this space where, look, we're all in some hardships and the world is a scary place. But when you can open a nice bottle of wine, rosé, with your friends and your loved ones outside and have a nice picnic, it feels like normalcy for a couple of minutes, even if that's not the case. So that's kind of how I'm looking around and kicking around with life, is just making sure that I enjoy those moments and drink affordable for me wine, which is the Minuty price point, I hope, for everybody.
Yeah, I definitely is our price point.
Good.
I don't know if I feel like an infomercial or not, but I'm sold.
I've been sold.
I've been sold. I mean,
I've been telling people about Minuty. Too late. I've been on it. I've been saying.
Okay, Mr. X Hennessy drinker. Okay.
I've been on Minuty.
Yeah, he's been doing this before. This is amazing, and I want to come back real quick to the finish. Like, after every step, I'm like, yes, and it makes me want to take another because I enjoy that last note. It's like,
yeah,
I don't know about that.
You get that little bit of salt on the end. You're like, I want another one, and then it's the end of the bag.
Okay, I get your analogy.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's like the M&Ms of wine, right? Like you just want another one, or the Lay's potato chips. Can't just have one sip.
You can't just have one sip.
I love that. They're inviting you to take another sip. Like that's why rosé, it's so versatile. And just also a lot of the cool things is, in the past, it used to be super seasonal, right? Like end of September, it was like, people moved forward and started drinking maybe like lighter reds, and then the really cold winter months, you got into red. But, even before I started working for a rosé company for Minuty, I love rosé wine. It goes with everything. Come Thanksgiving, think about, your table, your family's table, like every table, right? The most complicated in terms of flavors together. You have every single flavor component. Matching that is a disaster, and for me, rosé is the perfect way to marry those flavors. And so I don't drink, white wine because it's the summer, or rosé because it's the summer. I drink red wine when I want a glass of red wine in the summer, and I drink white and rosé in the winter. So I think that's fun to, think about what's happening in the world too, is drinking rosé and pink wine brings a smile for a lot of people. People feel like they got shorted on their vacation and their summer. Schools and so many things are in question. We got apparently we got a big election happening in a couple. So apparently there's a couple things happening in the world. So it's all about trying to have some sense of personal normalcy and enjoy life and take those precious moments. And for me, that's wine, and that's sharing it with my friends and my family. And now you guys are my friends, so we're friends, right? Like we're
I mean, you had me at hello.
Yeah. I hung up the phone with you last time, and I was like, I think I just made a best friend.
Yes. It was like as I was like, I know. Did we just become best friends?
I know, right? Y'all are silly, man.
Yeah. I really wish you lived in DC or I lived in New York. It's like, let's just be honest. This podcast will go a whole different direction right now.
We just gotta hop on the bus and go up there and see.
Yeah. We're. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say we're gonna figure this out. We're gonna socially figure this out. Physically distanced, picnic. I'll bring the big
Rosé
bottles.
Mansion as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Rosé Mansion.
We're doing that. So Tyler, get ready for us.
We are coming.
Yes. We're
on the way.
We're not like right now. I gotta pack. But
Not like this.
We got some things to do, but we're headed that way.
yeah, we're coming north. We're coming north before it's too cold to come north.
Yeah.
Like, it's not
Oh yeah,
fun
it's so
anymore.
warm in DC, guys. It's so temperate.
I know, we're in a swamp. There's that.
Well, I love DC.
Oh, it's a great place. And like, I'll be honest. Okay, this is where I go on my rant. I love DC, but I feel like the wine scene here is kind of not what it used to be.
Huh.
And for
What
us
it
to
used
be a
be.
drink, yeah, like there would be more wine bars you can go to, more sommeliers, I think, at restaurants and bars. And now it's just like servers who are just like, you know, hey, college kids who are trying to work on the hill, work for, you know, an administration. And like, it's less customer service friendly and more like, I got to pay this rent.
Right.
Which I get because rent is too damn high, but it's just so high. But it's also like we're missing the experience here. And so like we went to Loudoun to a vineyard this weekend to try to just feel that experience again. But it's like DC misses that mark. And, you know, we have a ton of venues that have brunch, but they serve the same J. Rosé, you know, champagne.
Sure.
And it's like, it's hard to find a good bottle sometimes.
You know, I always say, oh, sorry, Ben, what was that?
No, so the brunch market really misses that because they really focus on mimosas here. So you don't get the rosé.
Sure.
You know,
right.
in the brunch market, definitely.
If somebody wrote, rate is going to get a lot lower soon. Okay, we'll see.
Right.
Sorry, Michelle, go ahead.
No.
That just stuck out like, maybe.
Right.
I love Matt, and I'm hopeful, Matt, please. I'm praying for some lower rent, especially in New York. But, you know, DC, my, you know, the last trip I really had was in DC a few days into March. So, and I was with the owner of Minuty, and we were bopping around a little bit, not a long trip. And so I know a lot of great somms that are in the DC area, and it's always been known in the last few years, it was known as like a very luxury wine element. Of course, it's all driven by, you know, by the Hill and by state employees. And then the space, I don't need to tell you what happens when, you know, nothing's going on right now. But I do know that, you know, and it's New York too. You know, New York is known as the biggest dining destination in the world, but there's a lot of lackluster restaurants. And my biggest thing, you know, not just on behalf of the company I work for, but just as a consumer, is that you get these wonderful restaurants and you have this acclaimed chef, and then you get the menu and the wines don't match up, and they're like uber commercial or just like, you know, lackluster or not.
And it's like
quality.
a lot of Trader Joe, which I'm not mad at because I love me a Trader Joe's wine.
Me too.
But I don't want to have it uppriced because I'm here and it doesn't even go with what I'm eating.
Right.
In my face.
You know, and you can't be so proud of your food and not have a wine list to match the experience. And that's really, you know, about sourcing right buyers, right somms, right people. And, you know, the way I combat that, you know, if I don't have the relationship with the restaurants and I'm just, you know, there as said consumer and just sitting there, I always try to meet the gatekeeper. I try to meet the owner. I try to meet that person just as a wine drinker and somebody that always wants your business to be successful, whether it's a retailer or a restaurateur. And I say, hey, you know, I don't know everything about wine, but I know a thing or two. And I'm just, you know, surprised. I know you're probably trying to cost cut. Maybe you got some closeout deals from your wholesaler, but, you know, the wine's not tasting and what it should be. And so you know, you guys are consumers and we all have rights. Now we always want to be sensitive, especially to restaurants as they're struggling to make a dollar. But certainly, you know, you're a consumer, you have every right to, and it's in our collective best interest to just share your experience in a positive way and say, hey, look, I love your food. I want to come back, you know, but I really love these wines. Like, would you consider, or maybe they wouldn't purchase those said wines, but they'll start thinking. They need to hear directly more from consumers. And I think sometimes we're a little scared too, because we don't want to be the Karens complaining in the restaurants.
Yeah.
But we should, it's the way I always approach that is more of a like, I love eating here, and I probably will eat here tomorrow, but I would love to see this, happen. And because you both are wine drinkers and have great palates and know wine and really are engaging your livelihood in the space, you should have those conversations, because it's coming from a good place. It's not coming from like a nasty place, and there's always a difference. And you want
there's no
to be
care in space.
Yeah. Don't you, as a restaurant, like as somebody in your neighborhood, especially like a local spot, I love walking down the street. Nothing makes me more satisfied in life than going to a local restaurant, where I know the guy or gal that runs it. And it's all about support. And when you come from a place of just saying like, hey, like, I think you're missing the mark a little bit here, and you have something to back it up. It's all about positivity and helping them grow their business or sustaining their business, right?
Yeah,
that's the way
totally agree with that. I love that. Guess what you get?
Yeah. Oh.
Right.
Prestige is kicking in. When I start dancing.
I know. I'm like, oh. Also, sorry, guys, just so you know, shoulder. Prestige is delicious and makes you feel very, very happy.
And it comes in very large quantity.
Oh my God, yeah.
Is the only size it comes in?
No.
Oh no, so we have 750s, we have Magnums, which are 1.5, 3 liters, and 6 liters. So
it gets like a tower.
I love a large format.
There's a bottle bigger than this.
Oh yeah.
So the 6 liter is like what, like double the size or something?
Well, add 3 more inches.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So a 750, a regular bottle, double that is a 1.5, double that, 3 liter, and then double 3 liter is a 6 liter. So it's like a third grader, basically. A third grade child that you're going to pour. And
you're pouring up a third grade child.
Yeah.
So you will be surprised at how fast that wine goes. And, they're DC to a degree, certainly New York, like Hamptons, Nantucket, Miami and stuff. Large formats, it depends on the restaurant, depends on the retailer, but more and more they're gaining in popularity. And it used to be like, oh, you would get a 1.5 of like some like Pinot Grigio, and it was considered, a little passé sometimes. I don't mind a Magnum for my, my mom's a huge Magnum fan. Sorry, Mom, I just called her out as a Magnum fan, but she'll appreciate
everybody
that.
Gets it. She's like, I love everything Magnum.
Like,
ice
value,
cream, all of
Michelle.
it. Right.
It's value. But with Rosé, it's a showpiece, sure. But I look at it, and, they put sparklers in it and they make it this big show. But really, what's better than having a birthday party and spending money on Rosé? You're going to buy a case of wine, or you're going to buy whatever, get a large format, and you chill it. If you're going to get a 6 liter, by the way, the best place to chill it is actually your bathtub with ice.
Someone just wrote that. Oh
really?
My gosh. Yeah.
Anthony. Look at that. Oh my God. That's awesome.
Yeah. He's like, put it in your bathtub.
Anthony, you are the man. That's exactly what you should be doing.
Anthony, shout out to you.
Oh.
You get a chime.
Exactly.
Only certain people get chimes. You got to drop knowledge. And Anthony?
Yeah.
There you go.
My man, 100 grand. Definitely.
But it's just fun. So that's always my recommendation. Look into Magnums, look into 3 liters or 6 liters for a special occasion, because, you're going to buy the quantity of the wine, but people are going to come to your backyard and they're going to go, what is going on? And that's what people are going to talk about when they leave your birthday party or graduation or whatever, if you're celebrating, September, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's fun.
We don't have COVID today. Yeah. Celebration.
Tomorrow.
Celebrate.
Right. We made it to level 13 Jumanji. Yay.
I know. So many good memes coming out.
Bees. Yeah, I know.
So many good memes.
I thought I talked to the Hornet yesterday.
Oh yeah, the bees. Yeah, the killer bees. That's a whole nother thing.
It was a big bee. I thought it was one from China or something.
The hornets that bust off the heads of the other bees.
Yeah, what was it? The killer hornets?
The ninja bees is what I've been calling.
Oh, the
murderous. The murderous hornets.
Yeah.
Murder bees.
I just feel like they're assassins and they're silent. They fly in, swoop in, and roll.
I'm gonna drop knowledge that was dropped on me this weekend from my neighbor Peter that they live underground, by the way, and they're really hard to detect. And you can use I know, I love science.
They're ninjas.
They're ninjas.
Murder ninja bees.
Ninja bees.
I can't believe
Level
I just said that out
13.
loud. Yeah.
But we are the people.
Yeah.
We're here for it, and as I push my glasses up, I believe it.
I will do it in
solidarity,
in friendship, and solidarity. Exactly.
Oh my gosh, this is so much fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I cannot wait to hug you in person, socially distance appropriate as well. I know we have a few more minutes. If you have any questions for Michelle about Minuty or her, feel free to ask questions in the comments or in the question box. We're going to do a little wrap up here. I just smacked really hard right there because I had to get my breath together because this wine is delicious. My goodness. So if you have not had Minuty, this is like my what is it? Whatever. We're going to do like QVC. If you have not purchased Minuty yet, you need to do it right now because it's really, really good. And it's smooth. I like the aftertaste. I love the bottling. And then also the people that work there are so cool. Support good people. And as we're enduring a pandemic, we want to keep people employed and making sure these small businesses are also able to thrive. And technically, this is a small business because they have to pay tariffs here. And tariffs are not cheap right now. And, there's a lot of wine companies that had to actually stop shipping to the U.S. because the tariffs were too high. So support all of your local wineries as well as those abroad as well, because right now everybody needs some assistance. So
that's a great
support
message.
Minuty. Hey.
That's a great message. Thank you.
There's the more you know.
The more you know. Oh, we need a rainbow.
Yeah.
There I love it.
Yeah, I need a refill.
Okay, go for it.
I
go for it.
I had a little judgment, Ben. If I'm gonna be honest, I had a little judgment. I go, is he gonna refill his glass, or I'm just gonna?
Oh.
Yeah. You haven't seen these lives. These lives, it goes down.
Oh God.
Yeah.
So check this out, right? The first time we did a live,
we did it for 3 hours. We were not aware that you should not do 3 hours.
I actually passed out and went to sleep on the live. There's pictures that were shared where my head was on this bar and I was asleep for segments of the show.
Yeah, and a friend was like, you guys have to reel it in. We're like, we tried to, but it was a friend that was on, because it was our first live, and they kept talking, and it was fun, but we didn't realize that's not the goal of these conversations is to, yes, have fun, but to be educational. And then we were also talking about tequila. I think we had some shots because we were celebrating our first live. It just went left.
Yeah.
And we have learned.
Listen, when it goes left, it eventually comes back right, so it's fine.
Yeah. We course corrected, and we're like, no.
It was a good nap, though. I ain't gonna lie. you know those drunk naps where you get drunk and you pass out and you wake up.
I feel refreshed.
It's like 72 hours later.
Well, yeah.
I'm sorry. Are you in the military? Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah. So I was in the Marine Corps for 8 years.
Okay. I just want to thank you for your service, by the way.
Yay!
Yeah.
Thank you for thanking me. I never know how to respond to that.
I know. I could tell.
And
he's so uncomfortable that I just brought this up. He's just like, it's what I do, man.
We're here now.
Hey, I can dig it. There's a lot of that feel uncomfortable. It's not uncomfortable. It's just that we don't know how to respond to a thank you.
Because you're not used to being thanked for what you do.
Right. So it's like, so it's like someone says, hey, thank you for going to work every day. and supporting Minuty brand. He's like,
that never
okay.
happens. So I don't know what that would feel like.
Right, but I mean,
Well, guess what?
Imagine if it
Thank
did.
you
Right,
for going to work every day.
Right. Thank you for going to work and doing this.
Thank you.
Right. We need this in
funny.
our life. This right here, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hit all the
Let's
buttons.
equate me and Minuty to perform. To perform. I just said performing. By the way.
You are
To
saving
be
lives.
in the military.
You're
yeah.
both saving lives.
Hey.
Well, thank you. I there's growing up in the area that I did.
What's that? You see how awkward that is? You see it? You're like, well, how do I respond to a thank you? You're like, I don't
Because we're socially engineered to be like,
you're doing saving lives and protecting the citizens of the United States.
And what you think you doing?
I
What
am
you think
not.
you doing?
You know what?
You saved me today.
One
You
time
saved my
a
life
girl
today.
came out of a bathroom and I stepped on her foot because toilet paper was coming through. So you're right. Like I have saved.
you saved lives.
I've saved her reputation as being
And that's a life,
embarrassed.
honey.
Yeah.
This type stuff
You get that.
unnoticed.
Oh, yeah.
For real, like
Not all heroes wear camouflage.
or any of that stuff.
Oh God.
Not all heroes wear camouflage, honey. Unless it's a camouflage outfit with accented points. But then, that's a whole nother thing.
I saw somebody ask about Francois from Insta Husband. So Francois is the owner, Francois Matan, and he's doing great. He's in the middle of, high season right now. Of course, they're trying to all manage socially distancing within Saint Tropez and, of course, at the winery. He's gearing up to start harvest in the next week or so, and he's just balancing, some obvious obstacles in the world. But their business is doing really well and has transitioned to retail in markets around the world, and also, their business. They have open restaurants. So right now he's living in Saint Tropez. So I don't feel so bad for him. Let's just not.
I'm about to say he gets to see the bluest water ever.
Yeah,
I'm not.
It's like he's El Chapo. What's up? Like, hey man, he's doing his thing.
He's not digging dishes though for him.
Yeah.
He's not, you know what I mean? Like, hey, boss is doing this thing.
I can't with you.
Right.
I can't with you. I can't. The ability to can. I cannot. So Michelle, just another fun fact about Bartender Ben. It's only because it's August. He just celebrated a very special birthday.
I turned 21.
You did?
No.
Whoa.
You believe me? Yes.
What do you
I've been
mean?
doing this skin regimen you put me on.
I need to know. No, like up? Oh,
Go all the way up.
All the way up.
All the way up.
Yeah, don't go too far up. Damn, don't.
What do
Damn.
you mean?
Let's say, hey, get my age real quick. You thought I was close to 21.
You have
said 21.
You have a child face. Yeah.
You're a baby. What are you talking about? I wouldn't picture, honestly, men I think are the toughest. Like women are tough too. Like let's face it.
Well, yeah, but like men, especially like one of our who I'm not going to say his name. Last night we actually did the game last night to someone. They were on a TV show, and I was like, "Guess how old he is?" And he was like, "I mean, I'm gonna say 60, but he looked like he's 40." I was like, "He's 53." So
who's 53 though?
I can't. I'll tell you after.
Okay, cool. All right. Wow.
It ain't me. It ain't me. I'm just gonna throw that.
Oh
out.
God, no.
There's no way. There's no way.
But reverse those numbers, add a few. There you go.
Damn, I'm more confused. I gotta look at my ID. I don't even know
Reverse
how old I am.
53 and add a few.
It'd be amazing if the live like abruptly ended and it was just like then you just saw
The
you guys
world
like, having a
will never
conversation.
know.
Man.
Except for Google.
Right. Google will chime in. Alexa will start talking to us, of course.
Hi, Vern.
There'll be definitely an ad about it. Awesome. Well, Michelle, this has been way, way, way fun. Wish we knew it would be because you're so much fun. And we appreciate you so much. And we cannot wait to come to New York because we're going to do a live with you in New York.
Oh,
And
yes.
I think we should definitely do something. Like we may host like something in New York, and we'll love for you, some of your guests, to be a part of it, because I feel like this could be fantastic.
We're gonna
Count
do
me
it big.
Count me in.
Modest. We're gonna do it big.
Yes, and especially I can announce it now. I officially quit my job, but I got another one. Thank you, but I got another one.
Congratulations. Oh, you guys are very good on that.
Hey.
So we got to come to New York to celebrate.
Oh, please, we need to hang. Like, fill in this energy.
This has to happen.
Yeah,
this has to happen.
You both are lovely, and you're wonderful hosts, and I just feel way too comfortable. I wish you made it a little harder, because then I would,
No, we're all family and friends.
How could we make it harder though? Like,
you
what
could
would
be
be harder?
I don't know. You guys could have been like scarier, or just more.
We could have been like the people who imitated our podcast. So there's the imposters out there who imitated our podcast. We could be like them and be like, "Hello."
That shade is real.
I will end them, Renee.
I think she was.
I will take them out.
Sorry, I'm from
I love
Jersey
you, Michelle.
Originally, I'll look into it for you offline.
And this is why we get along. I'm from Chicago, so this is why. That same energy. We keep it.
Scrappy. I call it scrappy. There's a scrappy energy. Yeah.
I love it.
I'm here for
you gotta have it to the day you die. Grit and scrappiness, it's where it's at. Cheers to
that. Things that you need to do, be like us.
Yeah.
Cheers.
I'm just not trying to be on your bad side. You guys seem like, Renee, very nice women, but if I get on your bad side, I feel like I'm going to get stabbed.
Oh, I would never use an instrument.
Man, I don't know.
I want you to feel concerned. Don't you want like a little concern?
Yeah, but like no instrument. Never will there be like actual damage that the police can use as evidence.
Never say never.
No.
Never say never. You never know.
You want a sprinkling of.
Yeah. Like you're like, oh, that could have happened, but it's a conspiracy theory.
It's more just like an eye thing. Like if you can have a mischievous
you gotta just put some concealer on. Yeah.
See, you already got plans. You already got plans set up. I am not messing.
It's like a blueprint.
Come on, man.
We'll talk after this. I got some ideas.
No, you're not. No.
Well, Michelle, thank you again so much, because the live is probably going to cut out on us literally now.
Yeah.
Because Instagram does not play with that whole hour thing. Yeah. So how can people, again, connect with you and purchase Minuty?
Sure. Yeah, they can connect with me. M Wallach is the worst Instagram handle, but it's at MWALECK is my handle. You can see me here. Or they can try to reach out to me at Chateau Minuty. I see all of the DM messages that come through, so certainly try to reach out to me there. And then I'm sure you'll be able to give them my contact information. And love to connect.
Yes.
Love to connect with these rosé drinkers. Please.
Yes. Let's connect, people.
Pleasure.
Cheers to Michelle and all you do. And stay tuned to her episode coming to you in September.
And get some Minuty Wine. Get you a bottle of this prestige. We're going to try to I guess man versus wine bottle here and try to get through this tonight.
We'll send pictures.
I believe in you.
We even work our phone.
Yes,
I believe in you, Ben. I believe in you, Renee. You can do it.
Yes, we can do it. And Anthony, our new friend, we appreciate you. Follow us too, Anthony, because I feel like Anthony needs to be on the live one day.
Anthony needs to be on the live.
He is lit, and I feel like I need his energy too.
He's got the best energy.
Yes. Well, cheers.
Cheers. Thank you so much. I had too much fun. No, I'm just gonna have to drink my
because
bottle.
we were like, let's get these last sips on air.
You guys are adorable.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, we gonna end it? Oh,
yes.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you.
He's coming to end. He's literally walking to the screen. Oh my God.
I can't.
This is so much. Just end it, fool. Then end. Just end it. Yes, please.
My bad.
Bitch.